All right, so we did a thing.
Yeah, we sure did.
We did a thing recently, and now we're gonna talk about that thing. I don't know if you have any initial comments, but
I'll let you start it off. It was a good time.
it was a
That's what
it
I'll say.
yeah, it was a great time.
Through and
I
through.
I didn't realize how much fun video games could be blended with fitness, and
Oh yeah.
how it made fitness seem that much more fun. So, as I guess a little bit of a description, first of all, go watch the video of us playing a video game and then doing a workout that was created by that video
You're
game.
also not allowed to skip any of the video game part. You have to watch all of that.
Yeah. So the reason why he's saying that is because I showed an edit to my wife, and she was like, I just want to skip through the video game parts and watch the workout parts. But yeah, you have to see how good Kevin was and how bad I was. I was the reason why our workout was hard. But that was a workout where, like, it was all things that we like to do. But as a whole workout, I probably wouldn't have done that on my own without this challenge or whatever we had going on there.
Yeah, same. I probably never would have done something like that. Just like cooked it up myself and then
Yeah,
done that.
yeah, and I mean we kind of learned the not the hard way, because like at the end of the day the workout wasn't anything ridiculous. We got through it.
It was just high volume.
Yeah, exactly. It was high volume. It was a lot of stuff. Um, but how it all worked was we played a video game called Elden Ring Night Rain,
Unreal
and
game.
great game. We played 3 runs, but every time we died or got downed, I guess we could say, um, we had picked an exercise for each run that we had to do X amount of reps for each death. And so the first run was we loaded up a trap bar with 405 pounds and had to do a full length carry of our gym every single time we got downed. The second run, every time we got hit, we had to do 20 kettlebell swings with the heaviest kettlebell in the gym. The third run was, what was it, 10 pull ups, I think. Yeah, 10
Yeah.
pull ups every time we went down. And then every time both of us died at the same time, which is not a good thing to happen in this game, obviously, we had to tack on a 20-calorie assault bike sprint, which in its essence doesn't sound like a lot, but that was hard.
Oh yeah.
That was hard.
Yeah, especially when we're like side by side and, a little bit competitive, a little bit like pumping each other up to really push it.
Yes.
And after doing everything else too.
Yeah. And I'll be honest, like my first assault bike sprint didn't feel all that bad because I was going hard, but I wasn't going like hard.
Yeah.
Like I think it took me like 22 seconds or something like that to finish the 20 calories. And realistically, if I was going hard, it should have been at the very least like a second per calorie or less. And I put myself as a disadvantage going first like that because I didn't really know what was going on. And then I see Kevin whiz through his 20 calories in like 15 seconds. And so I'm like, oh my God, I got to go like way harder. And then in the second one, I was already pre fatigued. So I went way harder and that killed me. Like the
Yeah.
third run was so bad. The third
The
sprint was
wall
so
hit
bad.
early in the third sprint.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. I was like, my legs were dying. My lungs were screaming at like 9 calories. I'm like, oh my God, I'm not even halfway done yet. But anyway, so we we like to play video games in our spare time as a hobby, and we like lifting weights. And so we were like, why don't we just like combine this? Why don't we put like a few more stakes on the line when we're playing video games?
Absolutely huge brain idea.
Yeah, it's great. And so not only is it entertainment, but it's actually a lot of fun, and it makes the workout like that much more palatable, I think.
Yeah.
Like the whole time we're doing that, that was just fun.
Yeah.
It was
It also
hard fun.
made the game a lot more fun too. It just kind of like took like takes you out of the grind of it sometimes.
Yeah.
Because Elden Ring games can be a little grindy if you've ever played them, and especially Night Rain. So just adding those stakes to it and just having a really good time made it even more fun than it already is.
Yeah, because if there's nothing really on the line, sometimes you die and you're like, oh man, and then you die again. Oh man, you get frustrated and it's just like, oh whatever. But this, we would die and you'd be like, the first thing is just like, oh no, what do I have to do next? And we were like laughing about it. Like, it
Yeah.
was actually funny. It was just like, wow, we had a really bad run there, but that's hilarious because now the consequences are like so much worse.
Oh, that run was so bad.
That second run was abysmal. It was probably the worst run I've maybe ever had, other
Yeah.
than like when I very
I
like,
think my first ever run in the game was even better than
Yeah.
that run.
yeah. hmm Yeah, we went in heavy, and there was even a point where we were talking. We were like, do we just like cut this?
Yeah.
Like,
Do
no,
we just
no.
pretend it didn't happen?
No,
Nope.
no, it's stuck. We're
Gotta
doing the
keep it.
consequences. The nice thing was is that it was just kettlebell swings.
Yeah.
I say just,
In the moment, we thought just kettlebell swings.
yeah,
But during the kettlebell swings,
yeah. We were like, this is hard.
yeah.
That was the most fatiguing, I think, out of everything that we did, of like the three main runs.
Yeah.
Just because like we ended up having to do 140 kettlebell swings each. We were breaking it up into sets of 20, and like by your fourth set of 20, you're like, okay, I'm kind of feeling this like a little bit everywhere. I'm feeling it in my back, I'm feeling it in my glutes, I'm feeling it in my hammies, my grip is starting to go. You start feeling it in your lungs a little bit because it's like just the tiniest bit of like high intensity conditioning.
Yeah. Not taking the longest rest because it's just kind of like back to back.
Yeah. You go, I go. You go, I go. Other than like just like dancing to a couple of songs and
Yeah.
stuff. But that's what you got to do at the gym. You got to
Couple
have fun.
sips of water.
Couple sips of water, yeah. So all in all, like I had a blast in doing both things. I had a lot of fun playing the video games, knowing that there was so much more on the line, and almost laughing at your future self for what they have to go through. And then I had a lot of fun actually dealing with the consequences of things when we were doing the workout.
Oh, yeah. Same.
Yeah. So would you do it again?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And spoiler alert, we will.
Yeah.
We've got a lot more
Spoiler.
ideas.
We're going to do it many times.
Many
more.
times. Like, this is straight up a series. And I mean, with Elden Ring Night Rain, so I was definitely rusty going into this. I hadn't played in over a month. But like, I'd played enough in the past that like I was like, oh, I'm pretty confident in this. Like, you're very good at the game. I used to be pretty good at the game. But like, I'm looking forward to just like hopping onto a game that we just both suck at,
Oh, yeah.
and then just seeing what happens.
That'll be a good time.
Yeah, because like, as long as the workout is kind of fun, because you could almost sewer yourself. You could come up with like, at the time thinking like, oh, this won't be that bad. Come up with a bunch of exercises that you have to do, and then like in the moment you're just like, this is so bad.
Yeah. Especially if it's something you haven't done in a while and it's like, oh, you know what? Just the way you're working a certain muscle, maybe that just fatigues, and then all of a sudden that exercise just becomes a total drag partway through.
Yeah.
You're just dying trying to figure out how to work around it.
And like how it affects the other stuff. So we didn't put a tremendous amount of thought into the exercises that we wanted as the consequences. We just thought these three exercises are good consequences. Like a heavy carry, that is just cool and fun. Kettlebell swings is like enough of a challenge. And
Yeah.
then pull-ups are just generally a hard exercise for a lot of people to do.
Mm-hmm.
So we were
We
like,
thought they were different enough.
we thought they were different enough. We were just like, okay, one's just like kind of
Grip.
grip,
We thought grip, hinge, and then like upper back.
body. Yeah, upper back, upper body. And so in the moment, in a vacuum, each of those, we were like, okay, those are great consequences. But then after having done the carry, I'm like, okay, my grip's really starting to feel this. And then 140 kettlebell swings later at 90 pounds, I'm like, my grip's really starting to feel this. And then hanging from a bar, pulling your body weight up, I'm like, okay, this just got really hard. Like, this got a lot harder than...
Forearms were pumped by the end.
Yeah. Yeah. And like pull-ups are a pretty unforgiving exercise, I feel like.
Yeah. When you hit the wall on pull-ups, you hit the wall.
Yeah. You can go from like a perfect pull, chin up over the bar, feeling strong, and then you just go right back down to that dead hang, and the very next one is just like,
Yeah.
you get like a third of the way up and you're like, oh my God, I got to start like doing some body English to get up here.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So,
Very punishing resistance curve on it
yeah,
for with fatigue.
definitely. But like, I feel like we actually got a handful of like good lessons out of this, and like good like crossovers to just general workouts and programming and
Yeah.
physical activity.
I mean, the main thing I got is to just play more video games so that you're better at them.
Play more video games with gym related consequences, and you'll get better at video games and more fit.
Yeah.
That's the big lesson.
There you go.
Play more video. No.
That's what everyone should be taking away from this.
Yeah. But I mean, just off of what you said there, I think the big thing is, because it was a really good example in practice of someone who is very dedicated to the game and someone who is not dedicated to the game. And if we look at the death spread across us, like I had like 70% outside of that one run that was like we both did terrible. Yeah. But like, yeah, I had most of the deaths. So I wasn't faring too good after a month off, a little bit out of practice. And I don't know, I feel like there's a couple of points that you can take away from that. One being you have to keep working on it and be consistent at it to stay good, because you can get really good to a certain extent at a video game, in the gym, at, I don't know, organic chemistry, like whatever you're studying, whatever you're doing, you can get really good at it if you practice enough. But as soon as you take a good extended period of time off, just because you were really good at it before doesn't mean you can just hop right back in at the same level that you were at before. And the bigger mistake, it wasn't my mistake, but Kevin was like, we're playing the Deep of Night, which is like the hard mode of the game.
Yeah. That's my bad.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That made it so much better. But I went from playing like the normal base game, month off, and then boom, this harder thing, and I didn't fare too good across all three runs. And I think from like, if you're looking at that from the perspective of a gym, if you're, lifting a certain amount of weight, maybe you're deadlifting a solid number, and for whatever reason you haven't been able to get into the gym, maybe you were sick and traveling and doing all this stuff, and then you come back and you're like, well, last time I was in here I was doing 400 and something pounds on the deadlift, so that's what I'm going to go for today. That's a bad idea.
Yeah, because your capacity's gone down, right?
Yeah, you're going to have a bad time.
You're a little out of practice, and I see this all the time with patients too, where they've gone through the more classic rehab where it's just really light exercises. I'm just gonna, the classic like dead bug, clamshells and everything, and it's basically just mostly rest.
Yeah.
And then they come back and they try to, squat 300 pounds again, deadlift 400 pounds again, and then they're in pain and they re-injure the area, or it's like, oh, the weight's feeling off and I could barely move it. It was like RP 10, so like max effort when it was supposed to be a set of 5. It's like, yeah, because you haven't lifted anywhere near that weight in the last 8 weeks.
Yeah.
So your body's detrained, your brain is like detrained to the skill. So like all of that has to be worked back in. You basically just took time off, regressed a little bit. Now you just need to build it up.
Yeah. And that's like, you've said this before, like somebody's rehab journey should look very similar, but modified to what they were doing before they got hurt.
Yeah. As much as possible, right? If
Yeah.
you need to tone things down a little more, you need to tone things down a little more.
Yeah.
But they should still progress to the point where at some point your rehab just all of a sudden becomes your training.
Yeah.
Right? And it's just the exact same thing. Like it's not black and white between rehab and training. It's a gradient.
Yeah, exactly. It's not, back squats, dead bugs, back squats. It's back squats, maybe some variation of a squat that maybe lightens the load on whatever joint or tissue or whatever is injured. Maybe it's less range of motion, less load, less some type of variation, and gradually working back up to the squat that was at the start.
Yeah.
I mean, and not that I'm completely ripping on like the dead bugs and all the clamshells and things like that. Like they have a place,
Sometimes
right?
they're the entry point for people, right?
Exactly. They're the entry point. Sometimes like you'll see it, especially with back pain, where like we know maybe the etiology.
I always say etiology. No, I say etiology.
Etiology. I'm gonna go with
I don't
etiology.
really use that term all that often.
That's
to
fair.
Be honest.
Well, I'm gonna use it right now, and I'm gonna say etiology of back pain is like very simple and mechanical in nature for most cases, right?
Yeah.
So it's nothing super concerning, but sometimes how it just all works out is like those first few days can be like debilitating for some people, and they're like, all I want to do is lay down.
Yeah.
And
well, you
not
don't
move.
realize how much you use your back in everything until you hurt your back.
Exactly, right? And so like in those first few days, It's not a matter of like, we'll just deal with it and get back to some varied form of squatting. Maybe some people can, but for that person, maybe it's just like, okay, like let's do the clamshells or the dead bugs or something, just something that you can tolerate for a period of time so you don't become completely deconditioned over the course of 4 or 5 days, maybe a little bit longer of doing nothing. And then you gradually get back into those modified versions of your training program. So, I'm trying to think like the big point of this is what I was saying was, but just being out of practice and being deconditioned, whether it's in a video game or in the gym with an injury or just in the gym and you had to take some time off. Even if you weren't injured, you still have to look at this as, okay, I've taken a good period of time where I haven't been doing this. I need to work my way back up. And for some people, that step back might be a little bit bigger than others, especially depending on the time that they took off,
Yeah.
you know?
And this is where people's egos really become their enemy because they don't want to take that step back, or they think, okay, I can just take that step back. Or they think if I take that step back, I'm going to lose where I was. And they think that's like, okay, you know what? It's all over. I'm never getting back to there. But you get those gains back really fast.
Super fast.
So fast. Like,
Yeah.
you don't really lose all that much strength or all that much muscle mass if you're not in complete rest. You still keep some. Some of it is just coordination, and that comes back again with practicing of the skill. You know, give yourself a couple weeks and you'll notice giant improvements if you take that step back and actually allow your body to then recover as much as it needs to and then build up back to where it was, instead of going, okay, now I'm going to work at 100% capacity again and then try to just max out, and now it's maxing out 4 weeks in a row and then you're hurt again.
Yeah.
And now you need to take an even bigger step back.
Yeah. I think that that's like a big, a very common cycle that people take. Hurt themselves, get back too fast, hurt themselves, try to get back too fast, and now they're just digging their hole like a little bit deeper over time. And that's not a good place to be.
No.
I don't think.
I think E3 Rehab calls it something boom bust
Yep.
cycle. Yeah. And it's like, you know, it's typical.
Mm-hmm.
You're up high, you feel good because you have no pain, you work to your max, and then you get hurt and you do nothing, and then your capacity goes down, you try to go back to where you were, and again, just like you said, repeats itself.
Rinse, repeat. Yeah. I think another lesson, and I do want to look at this from, because we have a couple of good examples in across our 3 runs in this game. The get good approach of just like, if you're up against a wall, you maybe fail at something, you get back in there and you try and you learn new ways to approach something. So in the example of like Elden Ring or a video game, you go up against a boss and you get annihilated your first run, and then you do it again and you keep trying, and maybe it's not getting any better early, but you eventually start picking up on little things, and all of a sudden you get better. And maybe, you know, in other games, 60 attempts later, you've conquered the thing, right? And I mean, I was looking at this run from, okay, I went in pretty cold to this, and then just as we started going, I started like picking up on little things again. I was like, okay, I forgot about that.
Yeah, you got everything back,
now we're starting to get going again.
Remembered how to route the map and everything.
Exactly. And so like, despite the fact that I think our final run was our best collectively, because you didn't die and we won. And we won. So that was the victory. But you know, that first run was a little bit shaky. We didn't get through it. The second run was an absolute write-off. It was so bad. That's usually the point where people like walk away and give up on something. But we were like, no, we're going back in. We're doing the third run, and we're gonna get this, right? And I think that there's a lot of parallels with whether it's just fitness or rehab or whatever you want to call it. It's those early stages are not going to be great all the time, or maybe you've been just absolutely killing it for the past 2 years and now you're just stuck at this huge plateau. And sometimes, instead of like, well, what's this one secret sauce magic trick that's going to get me through this, maybe it's just like, no, just keep chipping away at it and you will eventually bust through.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And that just reminded me of a point, like a little cliche saying Like, great days are built on a bunch of mediocre days.
Yeah.
It's like you're going to have way more average and mediocre days than great days. And that's
why
how
they're
it is,
called
right?
average.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So you have to learn to just, enjoy that process, stick with it, build that consistency through it, and that'll allow you to then, maybe get those gains again.
Yeah.
So just relating this to fitness, early on in fitness, it's really easy to have great days. You get tons of beginner gains in your first, 6 months to 2 years, depending on how hard you're training. And then at a certain point, those gains slow down. They kind of die off, and you kind of have to learn to, love the process, get used to those mediocre days for those good days to come back.
Yeah.
And then at a certain point, once you're more advanced, those great days are very few and far in between. And it's like, you got to just really love the process, and your gains are going to slow right down and get used to those mediocre days. And then you'll pick up on stuff, and those will allow you to get good and, have those great days.
Yeah, you got to learn to love the process of getting good, of just like chipping away even on those rough days. And because then the little victories just seem that much bigger.
Yeah.
I find. Let's take a little pause.
Yeah. Like Colton do his clean.
Yeah.
There was a point you were talking, and I took a big sip of my tea, and it's hot, and it burnt my mouth real bad. I was trying to hold it off on my face. I had to go and take a sip of my water bottle. I was like, my mouth is throbbing right now.
What's worse, burning your mouth on camera, or when you take a sip of something and it just like kind of goes down wrong and you just can't stop coughing?
Yeah.
Which is worse, do you think?
Oh, it depends on the setting. I guess actually if we're just comparing in this setting,
Yeah.
I think the coughing might be worse. Because it's more disruptive.
Oh yeah, I've had that happen a couple of times in like lecture back in university, and you're just so embarrassed. You're like, you're basically just like
Crying.
choking. Yeah, your tears are coming out because you're just like, I don't want to be this person that sounds like they're choking on nothing in class. And yeah,
I did that a few times, and it just kind of got to the point where I'm like, you know what? It's better to just go have like 2 or 3 extremely overly forceful coughs. That usually clears it up enough. Just suck it up.
have everybody stare at you and just
like head in the shirt. and then just pretend like nothing happens.
Yeah.
As everyone's looking at you.
Yeah. Just good. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, those moments were always like embarrassing.
Yeah.
But you're right. You probably just
get it over with.
Just embrace and get it over with. Because, like, yeah, it's so miserable trying to hold it back. I can't talk,
Yeah.
But, yeah. But burning your mouth isn't good either.
No. I think you'll have fun watching the footage. But I wonder if you'll be able to tell. Because I was like... I went like dead face for a second.
The eyes just bug out. Just like, what did I do?
I grabbed my water bottle slowly.
I completely missed that.
Okay, yeah, so I played it off pretty well.
You played it off pretty well. I did not notice a thing. I was just chatting.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you had asked me a follow-up question, I wouldn't have been able to answer. 'Cause all that was on my mind was my mouth. Yeah.
That's funny. All right. So let's get back to the chat. We're talking about getting good and just like, we're going to wait a little longer.
Yeah.
Just a loud vacuum outside.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man. I'm going to get this point across. It's going to happen. Yeah.
Don't let it slip your mind.
Now that you said that, it's going to.
Yeah, I jinxed you.
Yeah. Don't you hate that when that happens?
Yeah. You have something, you gotta wait, and you're like, no, it's good, it's good.
It's so good. And
then it comes to the time.
And you're like, I just have to keep reminding myself what I'm going to say. But then for whatever reason, you get distracted for like 20 seconds. And all of a sudden it's like, I forgot.
Yeah.
Or
the
what I'm doing
big
right
point
now.
isn't the very start of it. And I'll just try to remember the big point. And it's like, okay. You forget the whole setup. And I'm like, oh, what's the setup? And then I remember the setup and then forget the big point.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, now I just look like an idiot.
Yeah. Or if you're, you know what your point is and you start talking, but the lead up wasn't really leading how you wanted it to. And now you're just like, you just sound like an idiot. Just trying to work your way over there. You sound like you're talking out of your butt.
Yeah. You're like, just wait. Stick with me on this one, please.
Yeah.
Please.
Okay.
He's gonna come back.
He's gonna come back. Yeah. The battle of the vacuum. The point that I was gonna make was when it comes to getting good and putting that work in, and trying to push through some type of wall, there also comes a time where you need to reevaluate things and know when you need to take a step back instead of just grinding away. Because if you're doing that, maybe not with the best programming or I don't want to say intentions, but just you haven't taken into consideration all of these other factors and you keep grinding, there does come a time where too much grind can lead to a bad outcome. Maybe that's burning out, overtraining, hurting yourself, right? And being able to recognize when it's time to dip out of that, take a step back and do something else. Because in our second run, right off the hop, we went to the Poisoned Runes.
My bad.
It's all good. I wanted to go somewhere else for what it's worth, but it's all good. No, we went there. The second we got there, we just got exploded. And we both died. And that was our first assault bike sprint where we both died at the same time.
Yeah.
And what did we do? We're like, okay, we got to go back and get our runes. We're gonna go finish these guys off.
Yeah.
We run back. We die separately a couple more times, and then we die again as friends. And what do? We go back again. So we just keep going back. We're like, no, we need to salvage this. And finally, we're just like, okay, we got to get out of here. There's nothing we can do about this. Let's go do something else. And the fact that we went back however many times it was, I think it was like 3 times, trying to like salvage that initial progress, that set us back tremendously.
Yeah.
Like we finished the first day, I think like level 3 and level 1 or something like that. Like it was brutal.
It probably would have even been better after the second time. Just go, we're not even getting those runes, and just go somewhere else. Right? So, and what happened is we went back too many times, and that cost us. That made the run significantly harder. Wasn't good. Brutal run, terrible run, worst run of our lives. But also, we could have just kept going back, and then that run would have been that much worse. We would have been doing like, instead of 280 kettlebell swings between the two of us, that would have been 280 kettlebell swings each if we kept going back. And we probably wouldn't have even made it as far as we did. No.
So at least, we had the consequences of trying to go back and do the thing too many times. But then we also finally said, we're going to regroup. And to an extent, despite the fact that was still a terrible run, we actually salvaged ourselves a bit to a point where it wasn't an absolute slaughter when we got to the very first boss. I mean, it was, but it wasn't as bad as
we gave ourselves a bit of a chance.
Yeah, we gave ourselves a fighting chance. So I feel like that's kind of like the thing is like sometimes it's good to know when, okay, I'm going to take that step back from whatever it is I've been just grinding on, take that little pause, do something else, regroup, and then you can go back a little stronger, a little bit more ready.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, understand what kind of challenges within your capacity, right? We knew, okay, we're in above our heads here, so let's get out.
Yeah.
Then the storm started closing too, so it really forced us, which helps.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that was a learning lesson in multiple ways. And then I think another one that we inadvertently did was when we were doing the kettlebell swing. So this was like in the workout. We're like, okay, we're just going to chip away 20 for me, 20 for you, 20 for me, 20 for you. And then we got to 100 each. And we were like, okay, I'm really starting to feel this. We still have a bunch of pull-ups left to do. We still have a handful of assault bike sprints left to do.
Yeah.
What do we do here?
We were also like noticing, okay, at a certain point in the sets is when it would start ramping up and we would almost hit those walls and it would become a lot more difficult, right?
Yeah. So we made the joint decision to say, okay, we're at 100. Let's get the last 40. Instead of doing sets of 20, let's do sets of 10. And I think like you could look at that as like, oh, you guys took the easy way out. Sure, you could call it that. But I look at it as, and we said this in the video, we were just like, this is load management.
Yeah.
This is what you do.
We're not trying to push our bodies to the absolute max and get hurt. We're trying to just have this as a fun good difficult challenge, but live to train another day still.
Yeah, exactly. And so we could have just kept pushing through, been in a far worse state for the pull-ups and for the assault bike sprints. We could have crashed and burned. I don't think that would have happened in our case, like just with the weight and the volume that we were doing. It was a lot, but or you just take that step back, you still get the total volume done. We still did 140 kettlebell swings, but those sets of 10 were like far more reasonable to do.
Yeah,
like all
it
of a
allowed
sudden,
us to go back to back again.
exactly, with less rest in between.
Yeah.
And it probably salvaged us from our pull-ups. Maybe those last few sets would have been like twos or ones or something, because the grip would have been absolutely shot. So you're not weaker for doing that, you're just being smart about things.
Yeah,
I think that was a good lesson.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's a great lesson. Just understand, like, again, it comes back to understanding your limitations, and then just making smart decisions to work within your capacity, which allows you to get more work done.
Yeah.
And then do more in the future.
Yeah, exactly. I use that approach a lot with like certain exercises where the wall can, like pull-ups, for example, where the wall can come like really early and then you're just screwed for the rest of it, right? So maybe you've programmed somebody, 4 sets of 8 pull-ups or something, and they can crush through the first set, crush through the second set, and then all of a sudden it's just like they get through 4 on the third and they're toast. And so like you can start saying, okay, we're still going to do the same volume, but instead you're maybe going to do like 2 pull-ups, drop down, rest 5 seconds, back up, do 2 pull-ups in like those manageable little bite-sized chunks. Then you get, for the last 2 sets, you're still getting 16 more quality pull-ups. You're still getting the total volume in. You're feeling good about it. You're not completely taxing your nervous system to a point of like, oh my God, I don't think I can do anything else. And that's just smart programming and training, I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would do a similar thing in school. So like in university, in my undergrad, I couldn't study for as long. So I would do small chunks and then, take a break, do something else, or even just like switch topic and study another topic, and then gradually increase those over time. And by the time I got to CMCC, when I needed to like grind and study for before exams, it was like, okay, I can actually study now for like a whole day.
Yeah.
And that's manageable and that's within my capacity. But at the very beginning, if I had tried to do that, a couple hours in, my brain would be mush. Like I would just get terrible studying done. So it's like, okay, you know what? I worked within my capacity in undergrad and I did much better because of it.
Yeah. You learned a system that worked for you.
Yeah.
Right? Without burning yourself out. I remember my very first exam period in university. I was like, I'm going to get this whole system in place. And I did the same thing where like I straight up had this schedule pinned up on my wall and I had alarms set on my phone. And I would be like, okay, 50 minutes of studying this, 10-minute break, 50 minutes of studying this, 10-minute break. And my whole day was designed like that, with like one maybe like hour-long break in the middle for lunch and just chilling. And that lasted all of about 4 days until I was like, this is dumb. This is so much and I can't stick to this. I'm going to try to find something else. But that was what seemed smart at the time, was like way too much, and it burnt me out.
Yeah.
And I was just like, okay, that's not how I need to study. And in retrospect, the way that I succeeded through school was, instead of cramming before an exam, sometimes you have to do this. There's nothing you can do about a schedule, but I just actually did a really good job of staying up to date on things throughout a whole semester and listening in class, going to class, listening, understanding the information so that I didn't even really have to study it anymore. Right?
Yeah.
So,
much easier to keep up to it.
Yeah. Stay consistent with it. Keep practicing. Who'da thunk? What a theme, right?
Wow.
Yeah. Instead
it's
of
almost like this can be applied to everything.
Almost everything, yeah. So, yeah, needless to say, I think we got a couple of pretty solid lessons throughout this whole experience. I don't know if you picked up on any others, but
I don't know, mostly just the get good, stay consistent, and work within your capacity. That's really what I was found with our experience.
Yeah.
And that video games are just fun.
They're so much fun.
And
they make
combining it with
fun.
something else that you love makes it even more fun.
Yeah. And I like the message that we were kind of that we end the video with is, it doesn't have to be what we did. It doesn't have to be 405-pound farmer's carry. It doesn't have to be all of those kettlebell swings. It can be something fun just to put that extra little like competitive nature on the line. Like if I die in this game or if I fail at something, I can do like 10 bodyweight squats and then just get back to it. And you're getting those little movement snacks in. You're getting something as opposed to sitting at your computer or on your couch for, I don't know, some people probably do it for like 7-8 hours straight sometimes, right? It's like if you force yourself to get those extra little bits of movement, you're doing yourself a service, I think.
Makes a big difference.
Yeah. And also, I think if you do it with somebody else, that makes it a lot easier and more fun.
Yeah.
Community
is huge.
Yeah. I wouldn't have done that on my own.
Yeah.
Like,
it also would have just been a lot less fun to do.
Yes.
Like just a solo run and then, coming in and just doing the workouts. Like, yeah, would have made something a little bit more, like it would have been more fun than not.
Yes.
But not as fun as, having a friend to do it with.
Yeah, exactly. And I think community makes it a lot more fun. Just the more people there, I find, like I thought we did an okay job of like pushing ourselves through the workout and keeping things light and fun and entertaining. But yeah, if you can get an even bigger group of people, then you get those other outside perspectives, and the more people that are there, the higher the odds of at least one of those people being like, no, let's keep going. Like let's if you're at a point where you think you maybe want to give up, but you still have a lot left in the tank, you got someone there that can be like, no, let's fire through.
A little bit of support to kind of get you that motivation.
Yeah.
Bring you back up and get you to finish it.
Yeah. But really great experience. We're going to do it again, like a lot.
Oh yeah.
Like, yeah,
we have a few games in a list.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of felt a little bit bad for myself at times during this one, but like I didn't have that many excuses. There are going to be future video game workouts that I'm going to be just abysmal at, and it's going to be terrible.
There's one that you have planned where you are going to be much better than I am. That'll be fun.
I'm really excited for that one, and I'm going to find a way to really challenge myself too, so that it's like extra hard for me as well. But
I'm played not facing the screen.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. There might actually be. This is gonna sound terrible, but there might actually be a couple of things that I could do that with.
Yeah.
Which is kind of wild, but
I'm not surprised.
Yeah. I like this game. I like this activity or thing that the game replicates. So, but I am really looking forward to seeing what you've got in store for that. Because for a lot of people, this game peaked in like the mid 2000s, and it's been that long since a lot of people have played it. So
yeah.
I
think I've played it once since then, and I didn't even play it all that much back then.
Yeah. So we'll give you a couple of practice runs.
Yeah.
Or maybe we don't, just to put the stakes a little higher.
Just put it in. Yeah, just go.
Yeah. Okay. Sweet. So yeah, all in all, I think great experience. I think more people should try this. It doesn't have to be with video games.
Yeah.
Like, it could be with anything.
Give us an example, Dave.
Well, this is going to sound dumb, but it's like, okay, if you like to read, then it's like, if I don't finish these 20 pages in the hour, I have to do, 20 burpees or something. I don't know what it is, but like, it could be anything.
Or you could even do it as more of like two positives. Like, okay, you know what? Maybe you really like running and you really like reading. So then each book that you read in that month is a kilometer or maybe not quite book unless you read a ton of books each month, but then maybe that's a kilometer that you do is like a big run at the end of the month.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Just combining
something like that.
You're right. Yeah. I like that example way better than mine. Those, or, I mean, people gamify stuff all the time, but with like bad things, right? People play games, board games, card games, and turn it into a drinking game, which for some people, sure, I get it. It's fun. It's social. But like you could do the same thing with exercise. I don't know how many people would hop onto that, but it's like, if you're playing a board game, you're playing Catan and the robber gets put on your thing. It's just like, oh, now the robber's on your thing. That sucks. Also do 20 push-ups.
Yeah.
Or, that could be another way to just do the thing, be a little bit healthier. Obviously you have to find people that are all on the same page as you and down to do that, but
no, just force your friends to do that.
Be the good example.
You're a
right?
good influence on them if you do that.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody probably needs to move a little bit more, or the people that are already moving a little bit more can move a little bit more differently.
Yeah.
Right? So movement is good, so be the good example. Try to incorporate it in other ways of your life, and all of a sudden those things just get better.
Yeah.
Like Elden Ring.
I've got an idea now.
You got an idea. Are you going to share it on camera? Or?
I'm going to share it on camera.
Okay, let's hear it.
It's not really an idea. It's more of like a point.
Okay.
Just related to gamifying things, all of that is to add fun to something. And with fitness, if you add fun to it, you're going to be more likely to stick with it.
Yeah.
So that comes down to then, choosing workouts that you like to do, choosing activities that you like to do. Maybe you really like that group setting, so you go and do group fitness classes. Maybe you don't really like group settings, and that gives you a lot of anxiety, and it then takes away from your fitness. So, maybe you do better with solo or like one-on-one, or like just, one or two close friends. And maybe you like a certain type of lifting. So, for example, I just did a competition with one of my clients yesterday, an Olympic weightlifting competition. It was his first one. When it ended, I've never seen him smile more in my life. And he was walking out and he's like, I got the bug.
Nice.
And it's like he has enjoyed this already. And now after doing that, he's just enjoying it even more. And that's just going to keep him working hard and keep him consistent for even longer.
Yeah.
And that's just the point, is like, try a few things, make it fun for yourself. And if you're really hating it, you don't have to do it in a certain way.
Yeah.
You can change it up to make it more enjoyable for you. And if it's more enjoyable, you're going to stick with it and you're going to get much better results instead of just, trying to do what's quote unquote best.
Yeah. I actually, that reminds me, I wanted to ask you how that went, because I actually saw him in the gym yesterday.
I forgot my shoes.
Your shoes. So he came in to pick them up and I was just like, okay, go crush it. But how did it go for both of you?
It went really well. So he PR'd both his snatch and his clean and jerk by a lot. And it was just like the best he's ever lifted for those. So it was awesome to see. His final snatch, like we had a plan. So it was the first one, we're going to get it nice and easy. It's something that I know he can hit and like won't have a problem with any of the rules, because in weightlifting, if you kind of bend your elbows a little bit and then lock out, it's called a press out. So a lot of rules that you have to be mindful of, and the lifts kind of have to be perfect. So it's like, okay, I'm going to choose a weight where I know he can get it, and it'll be really easy. Did that for the opening snatch, got it no problem. Awesome. I could tell he was a little nervous, and then I was like, okay, you know what? For attempt 2, we're going to like already kind of start to send it. We're going to hit something where it's like, you've hit this before, but you're not consistently hitting it with straight elbows. It's usually a press out.
Yeah.
He's like, okay. He's like, that's why I'm here. I'm here to send it, right? Like that was our plan, was to just have fun. And then, so he went out and got his second attempt on snatch. And then the plan for the third attempts for both the lifts was, we're just going to send it. If you have to, if you have to press it out, like if you catch it and do a half shoulder press, we're counting that as like
a win.
A gym bro PR for us. Like that's a win. Like that's all we care about, is getting the most amount of weight over your head in any way possible. And he went out and he tried to throw something over his head that 5 kilos more than he's ever put over his head before in the snatch. He wasn't able to get it, but it was like really close, and I was really impressed with actually how high he pulled it.
Yeah.
And it was great. He had tons of fun with it. And then the clean and jerk. So funny thing with the clean and jerk, in weightlifting, you can like increase your openers a couple times. So there's supposed to be a couple people before him, but then they were like just killing time and like increasing their openers by 1 kilo. Then all of a sudden it was him, but we were both in the back, not quite watching the screen. So this is on me because I'm coaching him. And then all of a sudden they're like, hey, who's this person? They're up next. And I'm like, oh, that's you. Like, we got to go. And they're like, there's 20 seconds on the clock. So he had to run out from the back and just go and do the lift right away.
Just grip it and rip it.
Grip it and rip it. And that was the best lift at that weight he's ever done.
Nice.
I was like, there we go. I'm like, that's just got to
That's
get
the
him to not think.
This is the Happy Gilmore approach. Just
Yeah.
run up to it and just crush it, right?
Yeah.
Just get the overthinking out of your head.
Yeah, just go. No thinking, just lift.
That's sweet.
And then he set an absolutely massive PR on his clean and jerk. 5 kilo PR for like getting it overhead with a press out or not. And he didn't press it out in competition, so it counted. And then 7 kilos if you count like only good, clean competition standard lifts. So
Nice.
huge improvement for him there.
Yeah.
And it was awesome.
And now he has the bug.
Now he has the bug. And then for myself, it's pretty good. I made a couple little blunders on my first attempts. I forgot to wait for the down command. And then I didn't know this was a rule. Your feet can't touch the bar. So the second attempt I go up, I always spin the bar with my right foot before every snatch. So I go, spin it, bend down to do the lift. The buzzer goes. They're like, you can't touch the bar with your feet. I'm like, oh, well, now I know. So
That's a weird rule.
yeah. So I got my snatch, and then on the third attempt, it was fairly easy. I was just kind of going in and doing easier lifts, but then I sent it a little on clean and jerk,
Yeah.
and cleaned 140, power cleaned 140, but missed the jerk. Still haven't jerked it. So
Still
that's,
hasn't jerked
that's
it.
the new goal. That's the new goal is jerk 140. Don't you love the name of the Olympic
It is
lifts?
November, right?
They go
No
no
jerking.
snatch and then clean and jerk and no jerk.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
yeah. And then I mean, I won the category. He got silver.
Nice.
So yeah,
So when's the next meet?
we got to figure that out. Probably, I'm thinking maybe we'll go again in like the summer
Mm-hmm.
for weightlifting.
Nice.
Yeah, give some time to build it up.
Yeah, that's a huge weekend.
Yeah.
For you. And now
I
you're gonna.
was thinking possibly in the new year at some point setting up a members watching, listen up to this, setting up a weightlifting class that I could run.
Yep.
You know, even if it's just once a week for about 3, maybe 4 months. Intro to the weightlifting movements, get proficient with them, and then the plan is with that at the end of it, have a little competition.
Yeah, that would be huge.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people would be interested
Yeah,
in that.
I think
that,
it'd be really fun.
that would be a ton of fun. I agree. That's definitely something that we're gonna set up in the new year.
Yeah. Nothing serious, just the Olympic lifts, but
Learn a new skill
you
or
don't,
get
you don't
better.
need to get the onesie. You just you just need to try out the lifts and
Yeah.
exactly learn a skill and get
Learn a
better
new.
at it.
Yeah, exactly. Because I mean, not everybody has to do that, but it's a really cool looking lift and it's fun to do when you can actually get proficient at it. So
Yeah.
I mean, fitness is more just about it's more than just how much weight you can lift or how long you can run for. There's a power component, there's an impact component. So like that's just something that a lot of people don't expose themselves to. That would be really cool, I think.
Yeah.
Definitely. I have one more question for you before we lock this thing up, because we're on the topic of video games and fitness. Okay. This is bigger than just video games, but if you could think of one character, either in video games or in the fantasy world, not a real character, movies, TV shows, video games, whatever, and you had to select that character to represent you in a weightlifting competition. That was, you coached them and you wanted them to go into the Olympics and win gold. Who would it be?
Oh, that's tough. Huh. So, yeah, like for weightlifting, you want someone who's also like mobile and nimble
Yeah.
and like strong for their size.
Yeah. I have an answer. If you have the same answer as me, then we'll just leave it at that. But
Honestly, I'm at a loss. I don't know. I'm not prepared.
think through it a little bit. You got
Yeah.
some time here. I think you're right though. It needs to be someone who's super strong, super powerful, has some good mobility and speed. So like we're not picking Mario the plumber.
No.
It's not happening. Yeah, I've got somebody.
So
right in
so
mind.
like would someone from an anime
Yes.
Goku?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. Because there's Dragon Ball Z games.
Yeah, there are. That's why I said it's the whole fantasy universe.
Okay.
It could be shows, it could be
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah, the Goku would be my pick too.
Yeah.
He's unbelievably strong, ridiculously fast, trained in whatever X times gravity. He can fly.
Yeah.
That guy would absolutely demolish
Yeah,
anybody
crush.
in an Olympic weightlifting competition, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. And then if it was like fencing, I'd probably pick like Melania or something. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think Goku's the no-brainer. Maybe my knowledge.
Wait, have you played Dark Souls 1?
No.
Oh. Okay, never mind. There's like a character who uses rapiers in Dark Souls 1, like an NPC that invades.
Yeah, and that would be
Yeah.
your fencer. I think in another show we have to come up with like our top like Olympic team of anybody in the world who is come up with some sports and figure out who's going to do that. But that can be for another day.
That'd be good. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so we played video games, we had fun, we learned some things. We're going to keep playing video games and having fun and learning things. What's better in life?
Yeah. We found the meaning to life.
We found the meaning to life. We are whole now, and we're going to
Yeah.
keep being whole. So
Yeah.
But anyways, thanks for watching. As always, if you have any questions, comments, leave them below the video. We always appreciate it if you like the video, if you subscribe to keep supporting us. And we're going to have a lot more fun and entertaining content, not just video game related, but also other fitness challenges coming up in the future. So thanks for listening and watching.
Have a good one.